it.
Wow. What?
You get this only nowhere else but the Kevin and Zach. Kevin, I'm not going to lie.
Now we're look at this. A carved penguin. There it is.
Oh no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
I think I'm so embarrassed.
Okay.
The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back.
What?
Oh my God.
Wait, what's going on? What is happening?
What is going? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the ball.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Bird Fish.
How about that?
Bird Fish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say?
I'm back, baby. What's up, everyone? Thank you if you tuned into the earlier stream for bearing with me. We learned a few things. One, people are excited for Dylan Beavers to be up. Two, McDonald's Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi from across the street is not the strongest internet in the world. You learn something new every single day. But appreciate everyone who stuck with me. I'm a person who, when news breaks, I like to talk about immediately because I get excited. So I like sharing that with you. So wanted to do an actual live stream where I can just, you see me, you hear me, and I won't get kicked off of Wi-Fi halfway through and you guys stare at a blank screen for 5 minutes. So appreciate everyone tuning in. Happy Dylan Beavers Day. That's right. Also, number 12. Dylan Beavers wearing number 12. As I said on Twitter, and I put it out there before, Gritty Ass Players Club. You got Ramon Laureano, Adam Frazier. You have Mark Reynolds, Runette Odor, Alomar. You've got, I'm trying to think of Stevie Wilkerson. Gritty players. So continuing the legacy of Orioles number 12. Yeah, Karen, it's also Ravens game day. What a fun day in Baltimore. Good day for Baltimore news. Hey, so, I mean, let's go over it. Dylan Beavers comes up. Greg Allen goes down. I think that is the least surprising move of all time. Sky is blue. Greg Allen got 2 weeks, got a nice prorated paycheck. I appreciate his time here. Did Greg Allen, what was his final stats? I know this is about Dylan Beavers, but I get distracted very easily. 0. Okay, he did not get a hit. Did he score a run? He scored a run, though. He did score a run, but he did not get a hit. Did he get on base? No, he did not even get on base. So it was a pinch run that he scored. Was that last game? Wasn't it last night? Yeah, last night was his run after he pinch ran. So here it is. There it is. And this is the biggest and most important thing. Dylan Beavers should be in the lineup every day. Dylan Beavers needs to be in the lineup every single day. We are using 2025 as 2026 spring training. A bust. Absolute bust. Just disgusting. What, he's been on the team for 2 hours and no hits? That's unacceptable. Send him to double A. Send him to double A. But yeah, Dylan Beavers has to be in the lineup every single day. He has to. You use this time in 2025 to end out the season as an opportunity to have him get comfortable in the big leagues. We talk about it all the time with Kobe Mayo, with Jackson Holiday. When they first came up as very young players, they were overmatched at times because the difference, the step between AAA and the majors is unlike any step you have seen in your career. So you got to be patient. And the most important thing is you have to give them time. Kobe Mayo went from a guy who it looked like every at bat, even though he had some solid ones at first, it took him a while to get going. Now he's taken Framber Valdez deep to give the O's a 1-0 lead last night. He's hitting absolute tanks. He's been looking, I would say, 1,000% more comfortable than even earlier this season. He's having quality at bats. He's using the whole field. He's not just a power guy. He's also hitting singles. He's finding ways on base. Jackson Holiday. Everyone remembers when he first came up and kind of how it was tough. It was really tough. People called him a bust. They said he sucked, all of that. But we got to the point now where he is your leadoff hitter. And yeah, he's been going through a little bit of a slump. He's still, 21 years old? But you look at him and you see the difference. You see the difference in it and just how big of a step he's taken forward. I'm seeing some people already asking about Sam Basayo. Maybe he comes up the 21st for the homestand, so he can debut in Camden Yards. I'm not sure, though. Maybe the 22nd. It could be September 1st. I don't know. Sam Basayo, I think he just turned 21, 2 days ago? So, while yes, he is the top prospect for the Orioles. He's the 7th prospect in all of baseball. He's still 21 years old. He just turned 21, so you have to give him time. You have to let him adjust. You have to make sure that he is ready for that step. And I don't think offensively is really the issue. It's he hasn't been catching as much. He dealt with injury, so he's not been catching as much. He's been DHing, catching, playing first, kind of all over the place. And I don't know if they have a specific spot right now. If they're comfortable, I think I would hope we see him in the next week. I would just love Samuel Basayo to be there. I would love to be at the game. I'd love to be at his debut. So I would really like for them to kind of wait until we get there to the homestand. But I'd say within the next week or so, I would not be. I think we get that notification that Samuel Basayo is coming to Baltimore. Let's back it up to Dylan Beavers for a minute. 2025 in 94 games in Norfolk, 342 at bats, batting .304 with a .935 OPS. Dylan Beavers has absolutely been smoking the ball this year. 14 doubles, 18 homers, 2 triples, 51 RBIs, and the biggest thing that I love, 68 walks and 76 strikeouts. He does not strike out. He is a guy who he walks a lot. He's got very close to a 1-to-1 ratio, which you love. Also, 23 stolen bases, only caught 5 times. He's got some speed. He's also a very, very, very good defensive player. He is a very good defensive player. I think you see an upgrade, especially. I had to throw him under the bus because, let's be real, he's not an outfielder. He's going to be a lot better if you have him out there instead of Jeremiah Jackson. I still think Jeremiah Jackson needs to get every day at bats or close to. He needs to just get a bunch of at bats because I love what he's doing. But But defensively, Dylan Beavers has the ability to kind of be one of those guys you rely on. You don't have to come out there. Corner outfield, mostly. I think he's played. Let me see. Fielding. Trying to see where he is. So he's, for those wondering, he has, in 2025, he's played 29 games in left, 9 games in center, and 52 in right. So he's a guy, he's probably going to be majority right field for the Orioles, I think. But maybe down the line, we see him move over to center field. I think they're kind of going to keep, when he's healthy, Colton Cowser and stuff like guys like that as their center fielder and kind of keep him in right. But very, very nice defensive player. I want you guys to give your prediction. I want you guys to give your prediction. Where does Dylan Beavers bat tonight? I'm going to say 6th. I'm going to say 6th. I'm trying to think. I think 6th or 7th. Now I'm trying to think. I would love to see him 6th. That'd be cool. But as long as he's out there, I'm just happy. I'm super hyped for him. Could not be happier for just him and the fan base, because as I said on the show earlier when I was in the parking lot, fans, especially after this tough season, this is really what they have to rely on, to look forward to, is these moments and these things of these young players. I mean, this is for the past, month now? We've just kind of been feels like we've just been counting down the days till Beavers and Basayo get here. Now we see one down. You see the first domino fall. And I just think it's another reason for people to tune in. It's another reason for people to be excited and optimistic about the 2025 Orioles. Because, 2026, you have to compete again. But for 2025, you have to use it as spring training. I feel like a broken record saying it, but it's true. You got to get young guys at bats. You got to see what you have. That's the most important thing, is getting guys comfortable at the plate, especially these young guys. You do not want Dylan Beavers to come out there in 2026 and he has 25 at-bats in the majors and it feels like he's just starting from scratch again. Get him acclimated, get him close to 100 at-bats, then he gets spring training to ramp back up, knowing he's on the team, get that confidence going, and then kind of hopefully he can hit the ground running in 26. That's going to be my biggest, I guess, what I'm looking for the most. It's just his development, getting these guys comfortable. And I'm going to say this now. Dylan Beavers could go 4 for 4 tonight with 4 home runs. Or he could go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. We are not judging a player by their first game or so, okay? If he looks confused, if he gets beaten by a fastball, if he misses a play, he rolls over everything. He's popping everything up. This is why he's here. Now, I hope he just goes and hits the ground running. That'd be fantastic. But I love this fan base because they never overreact. But just enjoy it. Enjoy a guy being here that can go out there and make plays, that can go out there and hopefully contribute with his bat. And it's just a fun, exciting young player. He's just a guy that fans can look forward to. I mean, what a week it's been for him getting into the Baseball America Top 100 last, Monday? Less than a week. On Monday, now you get into the major leagues. Couldn't be happier for him. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially down this stretch once Beavers gets more, is consistently playing, which he better be. Basayo gets up here. You can have a fun young lineup. And I think they're just going to continue as they kind of bring these guys up to be a very gritty team. I love that recently. I've talked about it. They've gone out there and they've been super aggressive on the base paths, taking extra bases, making great reads. They're making the other team make plays. So you add another guy who has great speed, good instincts, can cause some havoc on the base paths, put guys in motion, try to get runs in, and be that annoying team that no one wants to face down the stretch. Because if you get these young guys feeling like they're that gritty team that can play spoiler, they'll run with it. There's not a doubt in my mind they'll run with it. And I'm not saying like, oh, this team can like get their way back in. No. But if they can sit there and all of a sudden ruin a season or two, what team I'm looking at. You go out there end of September and you knock the Yankees out of there. They're still struggling. This is a fun opportunity to play spoiler. It sucks that you're not in the hunt. It sucks that playoffs aren't in the cards this year, but playing spoiler's fun. And if they can just go out there and be a annoying, gritty, do the little things right, run on you, make you have to stay on your toes at all times. If they can do that, if they can be that team, that's fun to watch at the end of the year. Think 2022. Think 2011. Because if I've said it once on this show, I've said it a million times. Build momentum for next year. 2012 happened because at the end of 2011, they grabbed momentum, they played spoiler, they got something going, and then they ran with it in 2012. 2023, 101 wins. Absolutely incredible. What helped them hit the ground running? The end of 22 was fantastic. At the end of 22, they looked like one of the hottest teams in baseball. Now this season, absolutely atrocious to start. What is one of the reasons, I believe? Well, towards last season, they fell off a cliff. It was you didn't know what was going on. It felt like it was a shell of their former selves. You didn't recognize the team. Guys weren't playing well. They were dropping games they shouldn't. They found creative ways to lose. Get these guys rolling in the right direction. Get these guys rolling in the right direction. Build some momentum and then build on that momentum in the offseason. Finish this year strong. Go make big additions in the offseason to tell your guys, hey, we're all in on this. We're going for it. This isn't a development team. We're going for it. We're bringing in a Framber Valdez. We're bringing in a Ranger Suarez. We're bringing in a bullpen piece. Hell, maybe you add a big bat to the lineup. I saw someone about, Tyler O'Neill. I don't think he gets traded just because I don't think any team would take him right now with his contract because I'm 99.9% sure he's opting into that. It's really important how they finish this year. I think it is because if you can continue to build momentum, I think it takes you a lot further in 2026. I know some people will be like, oh, he's just a DH. Oh, that's a guy that if you bring in, he changes your lineup. I would bring in Schwarber. I would give Schwarber whatever he wants. You gotta build the momentum. And yeah, this is kind of that doesn't mean that they have to go on a 10-game win streak and be these world beaters. It means, hey, if you can play spoiler here and there, if you can feel the team kind of moving in that direction where you're taking a few series, you go win this series against the Astros after you just beat the Mariners in a series. Go when they come to Baltimore, win that series. When you take on the Yankees, win that series. Dodgers are struggling. One of the worst teams in baseball over the last 33 games. They're struggling out the wazoo. Go beat them. Try to take a game or two from them. It's little things that can help build this team's confidence back up. So when 2026 happens, you get a few additions and you walk into opening day. And instead of like this year where you're like, hey, let's really hope we turn it around this year again. Like we can't have what happened at the end of last year happen. Think, hey, let's just pick up where we left off. You know, go pick up where we left off. That's what it's about. It's about building some sort of chemistry, some sort of thought process and just belief that this team is talented enough to do it, that this team can go out there and be that team that won 101 games, be that team that won 91 games. They're going to need a manager, obviously, but they're also going to need this team to buy in. And I think, you know, I'll bring it up right now because obviously it's a little different, or it's not Dylan Beavers related, but I do want to talk about this. So let's go since June 1st. Since June 1st, I want to go batters will this. So let's look at numbers since June 1st, and specifically let's look at the core. And when I talk about the core, I'm talking about Gunnar, I'm talking about Adley, I'm talking about Westy. Since June 1st, Gunnar Henderson, 309 average. He's got 7 homers, 38 RBIs, 18 doubles, 71 hits. Jordan Westburg batting 294, 23 RBIs, 39 runs, 10 homers in 47 games. Adley Rutschman, only 30 games, but batting 279. 12 RBIs, 4 homers. Let's get a little bit more advanced. What are the OPSs here? Gunnar's got an 876 OPS. Jordan Westbrook's got an 849, and Adley's got an 812. Those guys have to continue to build their confidence. Those guys have to build their confidence and continue. I mean, Gunnar, it's so funny. People are acting like Gunnar Henderson is bad this year. Gunnar Henderson, he doesn't have the home run numbers. I get that. But Gunnar has been playing like Gunnar again. He actually, I think, since June 1st has the highest hits. It's one of those, you know, metrics that no, it's like win probability added. Yeah, he absolutely sucks at defense, even though he's got one of the longest streaks. I love that thing about like, yeah, well, we got to move him off shortstop. Okay, why? When? You know? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Seeing a few questions. We're going to figure out tonight. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting. I'll be watching both games, but afterwards we'll see what happens. Probably a combo. We're probably going to touch on both, a 2-for-1, and mostly Orioles. Mostly Orioles, with a little bit of Ravens talk in there. I would assume Kevin's probably going to be a no-go because he's got so much with the Ravens post-game. Apparently I agree. I would love it. I would love Skip Schumacher. I've heard there's some interest there by both sides, but we're really going to see over this offseason where they go, because the Orioles need a new voice. I know some people are like, oh, what if? I just don't think there's any positives to keeping Manzolino as in this current regime in there. I just think they need a fresh start. Unless they go on a 12-game win streak or whatever and they suddenly finish at 500 and they're like all in, that would be one thing. But if not, I think as much as I think Manzolino has done a decent job, I think there is a higher ceiling, and I want a guy, I've said this before, who has at least been there, has won playoff games, stuff like that. Skip Schumacher's really the only guy with less experience, quote unquote, that I would go with. But besides that, I think you get a guy who's been there, who's shown you the talent or the capability to run a team, because I think that's what these guys need. I highly doubt it. It's just I feel like it's very rare for a guy to be interim and then just accept a lower position on that team, especially if there's a new manager. Like, if there's a new guy, usually they won't bring in their own guys. The only coach that I think, maybe stays is Mabry. I think Buck Britton has an opportunity to go there. I would not mind if Buck Britton stays as third. But I don't think Manzolino. I think he would probably go elsewhere, just because going from interim manager, and then if you're the new manager, I don't know if you want guys also having their former interim manager. It just feels like one of those things. They need a fresh start. They need a fresh start for that. Ryan Flaherty, I know I always joke about it. Maybe it happens. It would be fun. It would be so funny if Ryan Flaherty is the next manager of the Baltimore Orioles. That would be something. That would be something. I tweeted out like a few years ago that I need the Orioles to win a World Series with Ryan Flaherty as the manager, just for vibes. If it happens, that would make it that much sweeter. Ryan Flaherty, worlds collide. Baltimore Orioles manager would have a funny. And he's seen as a very up and coming mind in baseball. My only thing is I don't know if I want a young first time manager again. I feel like this team kind of needs a guy who's been there, done that. But we'll see. We'll see. I know, a little bit of a shorter episode today, breaking news, but I did want to come on and do a part 2 real fast. Dylan Beavers called up. Assume he will be in the lineup tonight, and he needs to be in the lineup every day going forward. But that's going to do it for this quick edition of Kevin and Zach React. Just going over Dylan Beavers coming up, getting everyone's reaction. Super excited to see what the kid can do. But we'll be live later tonight after the Orioles and Ravens games to talk about both of them. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. That's going to do it, though, for this edition of Kevin and Zach React. We'll see you later tonight. Happy Dylan Beavers Day, everyone. Ryan Flaherty.